take me through ICU and internal medicine. So like this whole COVID thing on me as well. I actually work on COVID wards. It's not looking good any at all. All right, so just brief reasons for my career choice why I decided to become a medical doctor. I mean, most of these would sound cliche. Of course, you're coming in to help people. Some would tell you directly to make money. Some would say for the influence. Well, all of those are true for me and true for many other persons. So helping others in an incredible way, doctors are trusted. When patients come to you with different, or people come to you with different sickness, ailments, they come to you with the hope that you're going to restore them to as close as full health as they were before. So you are definitely making a difference in their life when you can write a simple prescription to treat like a flu, you write antibiotic and it helps treat them. You're definitely helping them in a significant way. Also, the field of medicine is fascinating, never a dull moment. It's so wide and varied in different specialties. It can be in cardiology, it can be a cardiothoracic. And even though what you study in the books over the years, you think the patients are going to present that way with the exact symptoms. Some of them present very unusual, and it turns out that they did in fact have a condition. So that always keeps you on your guard, learning new things, learning how patients present. Of course, you're in a position of influence, respect, trust, and honor. Doctors are, I don't mean to brag, but I think we are the cream of the crop in terms of any society. When when you ask mommy or daddy what you want the child to be, the first thing doctor, then lawyer, nurse, teacher. So, and that's because it is a highly respected field. It has waned a bit over the years, but still a lot of persons respect the doctors and trust them, right? Because if you don't trust the person, you're not going to tell them very sensitive information for them to treat you. Another reason is the job stability and opportunities. There's some debate about this, especially last month in terms of in general, the fee. As I said, the field is very wide. It can super specialize in multiple areas. So that's where I think most persons need to hone in on their skills and definitely wouldn't have such of a problem in terms of job availability. But nonetheless, it's not just in Jamaica, all over the world, there is a problem these days. But as I said, if the more specialized you are, the more guaranteed you are of a job. And of course, I alluded to this earlier, never dull moment, always have to be on your guard, have to be on your feet, think of creative ways, think outside the box as to how you're going to treat the patient. So those are several reasons. In terms of becoming a doctor, there are different ways in which one can become a doctor. I'll just start with this. It's a proverb, Chinese proverb. It says there are many paths to the top of a mountain, but there's only one summit where the view is the same. So meaning that there are different routes. Some people get into medical school directly out of sixth form, while others usually might have to do 1 year over another faculty, science and technology, and then a transfer either. But nonetheless, if that is what you want to be and you work hard for it, you can become a doctor. In terms of the requirements, of course, these are broken down into two main areas. You have the academical requirements as well as non-academical. In terms of academics, I heard a previous speaker alluded to this. The same is true for medicine. You have to have most of your subjects. So I think most of you are at different levels. So those of you would be doing PEP. So once you're successful in your PEP and you move on to high school, then in fifth form, you usually do something known as Caribbean Secondary Examination Certificate, CSEC. So most of those should be in the science field. So your biology, your chemistry, your physics, and your maths. And once you're successful at that level, you move on to what is known as sixth form, which is grade 12 and grade 13. There, you further specialize in the sciences. So you do CAPE Maths, CAPE Bio, CAPE Chemistry. So it has to be the science subjects. Typically, you need 2 W units. So the CAPE year is 2 years. So you need CAPE W units in biology, chemistry, and one other, usually physics or maths. But I can even tell you that it doesn't necessarily have to be physics or maths. It can be anything else once it's a double unit. For me, though I did biochemistry, physics, and maths, I went outside the box because I like to be well-rounded. So I did law, believe it or not. It's totally different from the sciences. So I did law both units. So I could have got into med school with the biochemistry and the law. You don't necessarily need the physics or the maths. And that is a misconception out there. But the thing is, I believe that when you do all the sciences together, you're more holistic, but you don't necessarily have to. In terms of the non-academic consideration, of course, on the application, they're looking for well-rounded individuals. They don't only want to be book smart. You want to do like some volunteerism work, help out in the community. They want to be a part of social change in the society. So that is something that they always look on the application. So not just your grades, but also how involved are you otherwise in the society. In terms of expectations and responsibilities when you reach intimate school and even after, the medical career is a challenging one. There's a lot of information to learn and retain. There's a huge or high demand on your time and energy, and you constantly need to juggle these responsibilities. It is your responsibility that when patients tell you critical information or what's expected of you is that you'll keep it confidential. You don't go home and talk it with your friends or social media. And unfortunately, we have had instances of that where, doctors discussing among yourselves, the patient, when you're chatting people behind their back, and unfortunately that gets out. I remember in my year, in fourth year, one of my classmates almost got suspended because he was on the maternity ward, a baby was born, and he commented that the baby looked ugly. Took a picture, put it on Instagram. It was just one big mess. So you're expected not to do those things. You have to be very empathetic and very confidential with information. Also, it's your responsibility. You're in a high risk field. You have to be fully vaccinated or immunized, as well as that includes your booster shots. Because as I said, you're in a high risk field, you're handling blood, you're handling other bodily fluid. So you have to make sure that you get your vaccine. And even though with the COVID, it's highly recommended that healthcare workers who should have already been fully vaccinated, but for those who are not, that they take up the vaccine.
Huh? Yeah.
In terms of, hello? That's a question?
No, sir. Someone just had their mic open.
Okay, all right, thank you. In terms of other responsibility, of course, you're in a very professional field. You must dress appropriately. So like females, you shouldn't be in short shorts or cleavage showing. Males shouldn't be in the tight up pants. I know of some instances where doctors are going that route because it seemed trendy, but you really and truly don't want to carry on the profession. You should dress professionally and be well kept. You're expected to, come to work regularly or even medical school, attend your classes regularly and be punctual. In terms of just zoning more on the immunizations, examples of these include hepatitis, your polio, your measles, your mumps, and rubella, typically called MMR, as well as chickenpox, because you'll deal with pediatric babies that will present with that. And if you were not previously exposed or vaccinated, then you can get chickenpox in adulthood, and you can get a worse condition when shingles, whereas a severe nerve pain. We don't want anyone to get that. And of course, added to this would definitely be the COVID vaccine. All right, so at the end of medical school, after you've done well at your PEP exam levels, you move on to a high school, you've done well at your CSEC and your CAPE levels, you get into medical school. It's typically 5 years, a 5-year course, full-time. So it's very hard if you're going to do part-time, it's full-time. Typically in the first 2 years, you have classes how you're normally used to, where a lecturer comes or a teacher comes and they give you all the PowerPoint or all the lectures. And then from third year to final year, you're on the hospital grounds, you're interacting with patients, you're examining them, and you're becoming more involved in the management. At the end of the final year, 5th year, you typically would do, before I get there, at each year or each semester, you usually have evaluations. So you're constantly evaluated to ensure that you have a basic understanding of the principles that they expect you to learn during that semester. But at the end of it, at the final year, you sit one major exam. It's not the easiest, but it is doable. I'm a testimony of it. So once you constantly do your schoolwork, you revise, you examine the patient and you put things together, you do fine on the exit exam. So you do an exit exam in final year. And once you're successful, you automatically become a doctor. You literally just go and pick up the results. If it says pass, bam, you're automatically a doctor. It's as simple as that. Once you study hard and work hard enough. Typically at the end of that process, they typically have a ceremony. It's been modified now because of COVID, but at that ceremony, they call it the pledge ceremony. So this
Wait, sir.
here, hello?
Yes, so I want to ask a question. So, like you say, when you get a pass, I become a doctor, so you can just go work somewhere else. Like you don't have to work as a doctor. You can just go work at a car dealership, and if someone get hurt, and you can say, "I'm a doctor, I can help."
All right, so let me put it in context. In a way, yes. So once you have passed the exam, you are still not fully licensed to practice on your own until you have done 1 year of internship. So you're expected that after you pass, yes, you have the title of doctor, but you can't write a prescription still. You can't just willingly go out there and just try to play a hero. It's good to help out, but you must know your limitations. So you typically need 1 year of experience working in a hospital, and they call that period internship. So couple weeks after you pass, it's not even a full month. So about 2 weeks after you have gotten that paper that says you have passed and you're, quote unquote doctor, and you have taken this oath, which is what I was alluding to, the pledge ceremony. You have to take this oath to become inducted into the field of medicine as a doctor. Then after which you have to apply to a hospital and do 1 year of internship. So for 1 whole year, you have to work in a hospital in the different areas just to be exposed. After that 1 year, then you are eligible to write your own prescription. You get your doctor's license number, which is yours for life. So after that 1 year, then yes, if you go to a car dealership and someone faints, and what you have learned in med school and the 1 year experience in the hospital, then you should be able to, even if you're not fully, you should be able to give some basic aid. But like I said, know your limitation. If you have to call other colleagues in the field, you will always have persons above you because it's a training, it's an apprenticeship program. So you can always call for assistance and for guidance. Don't think because you're a doctor, or even if you've done your 1 year and you can write your own prescription, mean that you know it all. That's not what we encourage in the field of medicine. There are always different persons above. You have residents, you have consultants, and they exist for a reason. If you're not sure, you ask questions. Don't just think because you know it all. Always ask questions. In fact, speaking of which, I just now looked at the oath. And if you can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stanza 5, where it says, "I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed." I hope you guys are seeing that. That wasn't pre-planned, but now that you mention it, I'm glad I see it in the oath there. So yes, that's where we are with that. So after you finish medical school, you pass the exam, you're quote unquote doctor, you still need to do 1 whole year of internship. After which you're eligible to write your own prescription and start treating patients. But of course, don't be afraid to ask for help. And you can become a general practitioner after that 1 year of internship in the hospital. Of course.
So I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
This oath, right? Do you have to say it when
you have to say, not in the it used to be individual where each person goes up, but over the years they do it as a collective where everyone is expected to say it like a choir or in unison. But everyone is expected to say, of course, I guess some people, because it's in a group.
So in unison, like some twins. So in unison, like some twins that just say everything together.
Right. So of course, because you're in a group, I guess some people will like mumble or just don't say it any at all. But for the most part, you are expected to say it. Right. Oh, before I get there. So right. So I was saying after internship, in the hospital, then you're a general practitioner. You can go out, open your practice, treat patients. However, if it is that you want to, like, you want to be a neurosurgeon or cardiologist or gastroenterologist, once you want to specialize or go further, then there are other levels where you apply to the hospital for training, or the hospital acts as a training and teaching. So yes, you're treating the patients, but you're also learning. Teaching and learning goes on. So if you want to specialize in a more specific area, then you have other levels of internship that you can apply for. You have, I don't want to confuse anyone, but you have something known as senior house officer, which is directly after internship. So that would be 2 years of medical practice in a hospital. After which you can go into a residency program in, as I mentioned, neurosurgery, cardiothoracic surgery, cardiologist, infectious disease. Or if you don't want to go in residency, but you still want to work in a hospital or a public clinic setting, then you can apply for what's known as a medical officer post, which is equivalent to residency, just that you're not in a training program. You're just kind of hanging around. All right, so in terms of positivities and negativities of a job as a doctor, sorry, my consultant just walking, but it's fine. Yeah. Oh, you're looking for connection. Oh, all right, sorry guys, my consultant's here, but he's cool. In terms of the advantages, the career is relatively stable and a steady income. Other advantages, there's a personal satisfaction of helping out people in the community. It's very diverse in terms of the areas of specialization, and there's always continuous learning taking place. Of course, there are some disadvantages, unfortunately. There's nothing free of a disadvantage or a setback. So the process, the steps of becoming a doctor, it can be very expensive in terms of medical school. It can be very expensive in terms of student loans. The time commitment, you don't have much time for fun, but I'll tell you, that's somewhat of a misnomer. You can have fun, and still work hard and still be successful. And I think the doctors of this generation have proven that. You go on Instagram, you see them doing like modeling and all sorts of extracurricular stuff. But overall, there's still time that's lost with your friends and family nonetheless. The job can be very stressful, especially now in times of COVID, where you have multiple patients to deal with, persons calling you left, right, and center. So that can make the job very, very high levels, have high levels of stress. And of course, another disadvantage is deaths. You can only do but so much. See, the patient come here trying to nurse them back to good health. Unfortunately, you cannot save everyone. There are some that will still die no matter how hard you try. I've had a couple myself. But once you do the right things and you do the practice and you're not doing anything outside of the norm, then it's not anything where you can get in trouble, because you've done all you can within the protocols, within the rules and regulation, but the patient still don't come back around. So that can happen. Of course, in cases where you do go outside the norm and it can be proven that that was not standard practice, then you're liable to lawsuits as well. I should mention, as I said, death, that includes the doctors themselves. You have to protect yourself or other healthcare professionals. You're helping others, but you have to first learn to help yourself. It don't make sense. You are there, you're stressing out yourself, or in terms of this COVID, you're not vaccinated, you're going on a COVID ward, risking getting COVID. That doesn't make any sense. You need to protect yourself as well. So in terms of surviving medical school or the whole, or even after when you become a doctor, is a survival strategy. You have to plan, prioritize, pray, preserve. You have to schedule a lot of things, especially for me that like to do a lot of extracurricular things outside of medicine. It's a lot of scheduling, it's a lot of planning beforehand, and a lot of prioritizing. Pray and persevere. All right, so you need to plan time, not just to study, but for exercise, for fun, and with family and friends, terms of prioritizing, similar, you need to know that when you're in med school, although you want to have some fun, you need to have the ultimate goal of what you're there for. At the end of the 5 years, you want the Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery degree. That's what MBBS stands for. You want that degree because you want to become a doctor. You want to help save your patients. You remember all those things I mentioned while you're going before. You want to help others in the community. Yes, you want to make some money. You want to be in a position of influence. Always remember that at the forefront of your mind. Don't lose focus of that. Prayer, I'm not here to push religion on anyone, but believe you me, having a connection with a higher being, a superior being, really helps, because there are days, even in medical school, or even medicine now, like on COVID, there are days when you legit don't have the strength and you can only ask the superior being to take it through. And persevere. There'll be disappointment. So that's not the end of it. Brush off yourself and reapply yourself. And at the end of the day, you will make it where you want to be. Be determined in achieving your goals. All right. And of course, it's nice to have a support group around you. Ensure that the support group is up to par with you, not anyone with negative energy that's going to drag you down. Ensure that they're just as goal orientated and as knowledgeable as yourself. No, I did mention that medical school can be expensive. There are several scholarships available to help fund your tertiary education if you're not fortunate to come from a family that can, find the money up front. And you pay by semester. You don't have to find everything one time. But typically, medical students, there are two main ways, and this depends on how well you do at your CAPE levels. So if you do extremely well at your CAPE levels, all ones, then you can get in what's known as a government-sponsored program, where the government pays 70% on the tuition, but it's still pretty much, the 30% is still pretty much expensive, over 500,000 per semester, right? So that's about 1.3 million per year, because per semester is like every 4 months, and the whole school year is like 8 months, 2 semesters per year. If you're not sponsored, you didn't do so well at CAPE, but you're still somehow made it into medical school, then for the whole year, per year, it's 4.2 million. So it can be very expensive. So this is where I would encourage everyone, if you want to do medicine, ensure that ensure that you do very extremely well at your CAPE, because from that level, that kind of set what your future is going to be like in terms of what your exact expenses are going to be. Fortunately, I got in on government sponsored, so I only had to pay the $650 per semester. And of course, the original fee is in US dollars. We have a very sliding dollar. So each time the dollar slides, the tuition goes up. So in terms of financing, of course, family members, student loans, church members, personal saving, but of course, in all reality, if you're not from a family that can afford it, then it's definitely would have to be a student loan or from other financial institutions. There are government scholarship. Again, if you do extremely well, you can get open scholarships from UA. You can get scholarships from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. You have private sector organization, Lujan. Lenika would know a bit about this. They do give scholarships. And in fact, several of my classmates, like Maurice Fisher, John Foster, and some others have benefited from this scholarship and are now doctors and are now specializing in their areas of interest. These are the links to some of the websites where you can check out the scholarships. I'll send this to Lenika so that she can send you guys at a later point in time, so you can check it out and see what the requirements are beforehand. So opportunities for the medical professionals, other than being a doctor, there are many opportunities. You sit on many boards. You can both in the country, regionally, internationally, locally, regionally, and internationally. You can sit on PAHO boards, WHO. You can work in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. You can be a consultant. It's just a whole host of opportunities that exist. You can go in the field of journalism, medical journalism. You can go in medical entrepreneurship, so like medical tourism, where you set it up where you have patients that come down from overseas for their surgery. They do it at a much lower cost, but still at the same standard and quality as they would overseas. So there's a whole host of opportunities. In terms of when you're in med school, you do have fun there. They try to make it fun. You have different activities. You have med law, social, wacky day, ratchet day, football competitions, uniform day where you dress up in your high school uniform. There's something known as smoker. You don't actually smoke. That is, like pantomime, or when you used to go to the plays at center stage. Medical students are creative. They usually in third year. The students would write a play of their own and have a big promotion around it. That has changed, unfortunately, because of COVID, but it usually was a fun thing. In terms of when other opportunities, if you want to be a surgeon or anatomist, you have society, you have a surgical society. If you're interested in emergency room management or basic CPR, then you have the UA Emergency Response Team, UA CERT. You can sit on the GIL. You usually have a medical science rep on the GIL, and you don't necessarily have to stay at that level. We have had medical students who twice, I believe, when I was there, who were the vice president of the GIL, which is a big thing on campus, student leadership. Outside of the UA GIL, you have the Jamaica Medical Student Association Council, so within the faculty itself. So there are opportunities for leadership as well. Not to scare anyone, but this is an anatomy class where you learn about more detail about the body, essentially. Med law, social, some pictures. For me, as I said, I like extracurricular stuff. So even in medical school, this was third year, I was a part of National Youth Parliament. So whole host, and there have been others. You have another one known as Romario White, who also did Youth Parliament, I think the year or two after me. So there are a whole host of opportunities. In terms of the future, we're coming on to the end. The field is very dynamic. It's multidisciplinary and ever-changing. You have traditional medicine that you guys would know. You get a cough, you cold, you go to your doctor for the antibiotics. You have that traditional stuff. But you have the new ones like entrepreneurial medicine, where you can do telemedicine. So a patient can stay at home and a doctor can be at home, and you tell them what your symptoms are, or they use special cameras and they can diagnose you on the spot, write a prescription to a specific pharmacy, you pick up the medication there. You have robotics that are being employed in terms of minimal invasive surgeries, biotechnology, so the development of vaccines and cancer drugs, and of course, public health and policy. So it's a very interesting field. And I encourage you guys, you don't necessarily have to be a doctor, but the STEM field is where the future is at. That's what's going to solve a lot of the problems of our society, poverty, climate change, cancer, and other illnesses. So I encourage you guys to strongly stay within this field. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure, one second. Yeah, go ahead.
If someone wants to be anesthesiologist, right?
Right.
Do they have to study the same stuff as a doctor or no? And do they have to spend the same amount of time and study as a doctor does in college?
Right. I'm happy you asked that question, right? So in other countries, there are provisions where once you know already what you want to be, whether anesthesiologist or orthopedics, you can directly specialize in those areas without doing general medicine. What you do is what they call pre-med school. But for here in Jamaica and in our associated campuses, yes, you still have to do the first 5 years of medical school. You have to do the general practitioner. Then you do the internship, you do the SHO year, and then you after 2 years of clinical experience in the hospital, then you can apply to the Department of Anesthesiology. And then if you're successfully getting and you start your training there, it's typically a 4 years. So that's another 4 years. Sorry, that's another 6 years of medical school in total. So 5 years of becoming a doctor in general. then the 2 years of internship SHO, 2 clinical years, and then the 4 years to specialize in anesthesiology. So yes, it would be extra time. But as I said, other area like in China and stuff, I do know that you can directly specialize without having to go through the preclinical stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any other questions? No, nothing you guys want to ask me about? COVID, vaccine, anything else? Medical related? Nothing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Simpson. I have a question. What was your first death experience was like on ward? When you started your internship?
It was during internship when I was on neurosurgery. There was this elderly, about 72-year-old man, without going into much detail. He came in initially because he had a stroke, but you have different types of stroke. You have stroke where it's just due to a clot, as well as you have others where you have bleeding in the brain. He had the bleeding type, that's why he ended up on neurosurgery. So they had to drain it. They drained it, he was improving. And then the following, like 2 days after I came, I realized he was getting less and less unresponsive. Call saying that his blood pressure is going low, he's just not looking too well. And so I'm there, I'm getting all sorts of medication, injecting him in the veins with all sorts of things to keep the heart going, taking off blood tests, and thinking everything is going fine, but he still end up dying. So that was my first time. But thankfully I haven't had that much compared to others. I've had probably like overall like directly 4, but in terms of like, because you're on teams, in terms of teams, you definitely would see others. And then with COVID, no, it's really sad. I see those more often, like every night when I am on it. I have to be pronouncing like at least 1 to 2 patients. And what makes it sad is that you're literally like, you go in, you pronounce, and then you literally just take an eraser because you log all the patients on a whiteboard so that you can keep track of where they are on their person. And then at the end of it, it's like you're literally erasing them from life. You just rub their name out and put another patient who's going to come on the ward to replace them. So that is somewhat sad in itself, that you're literally kind of erasing people from existence when you do it like that. But that's just a sad reality of where we are.
Okay, thank you. Did you okay, thanks. My next question is regarding the issue of in the past 2 months, there has been an issue regarding medical students not being able, some medical students not being able to acquire internships. Can you address that situation? Are you in a position to address that situation, or?
Okay, yeah, sure. All right. Blame everything on COVID, but pre-COVID, what would happen is, and this is more when you have, what happened each year, doctors move up in different positions. So you start out at internship, then you matriculate into SHO year, that is the second year, well, kind of like second year internship essentially. And then you matriculate further whether into residency in terms of your specialization or MO. Typically, once you're in residency though, you typically would do an exit exam. So they call it Doctor of Medicine. So that's what you have to pass to say that you're not just a doctor, but no, you're an anesthesiologist or orthopedic surgeon, things like that. What has happened with COVID is COVID has set that back. So a lot of persons, they're having to be studying and still working on COVID. They just can't, mentally, it's just really just unbearable. So you find a lot of them are deferring, which you can do the program. Once you're in a residency program, you can defer up to 2 years. You can go on leave of absence. So a lot of persons opted to do that in hopes that the COVID will go away within the 2 years. I mean, it's 1.5 years now, so they don't have like 6 months. So what you find is that that causes a backlog. So when they should be exiting, doing the exam so that others can move up, there's like a backlog there. And so the backlog is at all levels come right now. Less posts to put those persons. One would say the government should find money, extra money or funds to try and employ these persons. It's easier said than done because it's not just about finding the money. You literally have to have the areas where to put them and in terms of where they're going to practice. It don't make sense you just hiring them and they're not going to learn the skills. And then at the end of the internship, when they send them out in the general public, it just cause chaos for the medical field here and the diagnosing patients wrongly, writing wrong prescription. So we don't just want to hire people, we want them to get the hands-on training. So that's a problem as well. That being said, the MBBS degree, the one that you get from here in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, it's also recognized in other Caribbean territories. So like the small islands, Turks and Caicos takes a lot of persons. Antigua and Barbuda. Also in Canada and in the US, it's not well set out there, but in terms of the rural areas where their regular doctors don't want to go, they call it locum work. So locum intern, or they call them locums. You can pick up jobs in UK, in the NIS, in the US, and in Canada. You won't get paid the same as their native doctors that are trained there, but it's still an opportunity. You still definitely will make more than what you get here in Jamaica. So there are opportunities there, as well as what I know, a friend of mine, he didn't get re-employed, but they took him in a different area. He's now in research and he's liking it, he's loving it. He has broadened his horizons. So they're trying to work the situation out, but it's still a problem. And once COVID is still there, it's still going to continue to spiral out of control in terms of where you're going to put these persons if you're not having persons leaving the program.
Okay, thank you so much for addressing that issue, because sometimes I know that will be maybe that thought or that issue will arise in terms of persons who are in campus who want to choose their medical profession. Additionally, you mentioned that one of your friend, you were saying that persons can work within rural areas in the NIS in the UK. Do they need to pass certain board tests before they are employed?
Ideally, yes, you have the board equivalent, but there are when you're in the medical program here at UWI, they have what they call observership and stuff like that. So consultants here can organize where you don't necessarily have to sit there equivalent exam. I mean, you can't freely just treat patients over there. No, you're literally there just to assist the actual native person that are trained. But you don't necessarily have to do their exit exam. But if you do it, then you are more recognized. You have more autonomy in terms of what you want to do. Whereas if you go under the program of apprenticeship, where you're always constantly under the guidance of someone, but still an opportunity overall. And as I say, you would still definitely make more money here than in Jamaica. Not to discourage anyone, but I mean, that's a fact. The US dollar is stronger, the pound is stronger. So of course, if you're working in the medical field in those countries, you definitely make more than who is working here in Jamaica. But you still make a decent living here in Jamaica. You can pay your bills, student loan can be paid back. You know, like over time, it takes a while. Over time, you get that fancy car, that house, etc.
Thank you so much. Lastly, do you have any tips regarding COVID? In terms of protection and keeping ourselves, keeping safe. As some of our campers will be returning to school
with COVID, right? All right. You seen this PowerPoint?
No, I'm still seeing your career symposium presentation.
I have to stop sharing that one and share the other PowerPoint.
I usually do. It's not necessarily tailored for you guys, but you seen it?
Yes, we are seeing it now, Mr. Simpson.
All right. I'm not going to go too much into it because I know time. I promised Lanika I'll be within the time. But in terms of how to protect yourself, basic care, get vaccinated. And you guys are students. The good news is today, Pfizer vaccine, which was already approved for adolescents, that's anyone 12 to 17, those arrive, and those are the ones that they are setting aside for you guys. Some would argue it's more highly efficacious. They would, in fact, a lot of adults say they prefer that one. But I'm not here to push anything on anyone, but I would encourage when it's available for you guys, 12 and over, to take it up. And those who are over 18, where you have the others like Moderna and AstraZeneca, to take up the vaccines. Vaccines are not anything new. They have always been a part of our society. In fact, a lot of you would have recall that you have to get a vaccine to enter into primary school and then get some additional boosters to enter into high school. It's not anything new. I know there are a lot of concerns, there are a lot of rumors. It will have to be a presentation for another day. I can't go into too much of it, but a lot of these rumors have no basis. There's no science behind it. I'll just go to the main ones. One that will say that it was developed quick. Yes, it might have been developed fast, but there are four main reasons. The first one is in every other aspect of life, technology has taken over, has made it easier. I don't know why persons think that in the second thing, the virus that actually causes COVID is not new. All right, SARS virus has always been around. If you look at some cleaning agents, you'll see that it works for coronaviruses. It's just that the strain is different. So always known about SARS, there was already the blueprint of what it looks like. However, once the biotechnicians got a hold of the exact strain, all they had to do was plug it into the already existing formulas. The third thing is in terms of the research, because they have to test the vaccine is efficacious. Clinical trial with COVID. I mean, in Jamaica alone, you have over almost 60,000 cases. In the US, over 150 cases. In the UK, almost 200 million cases. So it wasn't hard to get the study population worldwide to see how effective the vaccine was. So although it might have looked rushed, it's very safe and very effective. So I encourage persons practice the other things. Having taken the vaccine don't mean you're fully protected. Well, that's if it's one dose. You need, for like Pfizer and AstraZeneca, you need 2 doses before you're fully vaccinated. And it's usually 2 weeks after the second dose. So even if you receive the second dose and you decide to be risky and go out there and party and expose yourself, then you can still be sick with COVID and still end up in the hospital. So it's 2 weeks after the second dose of the vaccine. So it's important to still, wear your face mask, wash your hands often or sanitize, distance. If you're feeling sick or ill, then the onus is on you to stay home until, you feel better, or if you got a test done, it says that you're negative. And, just encourage those around you. You are wearing your mask and stuff. If you've seen your friends and not doing it, then just encourage them to wear their mask and to wash their hands as often as possible. But as I said, the vaccine, that is a discussion for a whole nother day. It's too much to go into now. I don't want to go over the time. But trust me, it's safe. And there's this meme that they have online. They say that you go to the doctors are telling you that the vaccine is safe, but you don't believe them, right? But yeah, when the same persons get sick with COVID, they're coming to the doctors to treat them. It just don't make any sense. If you trust us to treat you for COVID, then why not trust us to say, take the vaccine that will help prevent it? Or even if you get COVID, you won't end up being so sick. You won't end up necessarily have to come into the hospital, and you won't necessarily die or have loved ones that die. So vaccine is safe. You can, for you guys, I know you're all at different age levels, but you can go on the websites, reputable website, not the ones with rumors. You can go on Ministry of Health website here, National Health Fund website here, WHO, CDC, reputable websites to read more about the vaccine. And just putting out there, if Lanika wants me like another totally different day, sometime down the line to go more into the vaccines and stuff, then I'll try and make myself available. All right.
My only question, Dr. Simpson, I assume you are vaccinated. Have you had any side effects?
Yes. So thank you for asking that. Side effects I alluded to that are some disadvantages. There is nothing free without some. No, there are mild. Oh, you know, about the everything is in this PowerPoint. There are mild side effects that are well known or documented. So for myself personally, the first shot that I got it in May, I got it in my left shoulder. I did have tenderness there and it felt heavy. It wasn't necessarily sore, it was just heavy and tender. But that lasted like 2 days the most. I didn't have any fever, I didn't have any flu-like symptoms. I did feel tired though. Tired and pain in in my left upper shoulder. Those were the only ones, but I know I had other colleagues that felt nauseous, they felt like they wanted to vomit, their head was tearing off. But those are known side effects. That's not anything strange and wonderful. There will be some side effects, but trust me, these side effects are better than actually getting the COVID. And patients who have recovered, they can tell you how bad it was for them. Well, thankfully they're recovered. I mean, they have the other end of the spectrum where you don't recover and you just end up on ice in all practicality. But yes, so you would have short-term side effect. Typically, it shouldn't last more than 3 days. If it lasts more than 3 days, then it's onus is on you to please report it to either the vaccination center or to call in on the ministry's hotline and report it. So some of the common ones, you get pain, such tenderness, and redness at the injection site.
Wait, sir.
Hello?
I saw how slides are skipping through about different COVID. Can I go back to it, please?
Right, let me just finish this point. You can get a little headache, little tiredness, joint pain, muscle pain, or you feel nauseous. In extreme cases, you can actually have vomiting, abdominal pain, or an allergic reaction that has been very rare. About, like, I would say literally 1 in every 10 person would have a severe allergic reaction, but they have agents that readily reverse it. And this is why, and typically for the allergic reaction, it usually manifests itself within 5 minutes, if so long after getting the vaccine. So typically after you receive the vaccine, there is usually a 15 to 30 minute observation period. Okay. All right, so you don't just get the vaccine and you walk away. Ensure that you're fine. Anything else, anything lasting more than 3 days in terms of a little fever, headache, joint, muscle pain, or you feel nauseous or tired, then report it to us. The different vaccines, where is it? I know this, right. So these are all the ones that are, every single one of them are approved by WHO. At the time when I made this slide, only AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Moderna were approved by WHO. But since then, Johnson & Johnson, which is the only single dose vaccine. So this is the exception to being fully vaccinated. If you get like Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca, the Johnson & Johnson is the only exception. All the other ones are 2-dose vaccines. All of them are highly efficacious. There's the rule that says the best vaccine is the first one that's available. You have persons who will say that they're waiting on Pfizer or Moderna. Yes, it's here now, but those are really reserved for like you guys, adolescents. But you can't necessarily wait, because in that waiting period, you're susceptible to catching COVID, and the outcome might be dire. So while you're there waiting for Pfizer or Moderna or whichever one you prefer, or the Cuban one, it might be too late. So the rule is the best vaccine is the one that's available. And currently the one that's widely available for the population is the AstraZeneca.
Wait, sorry, there was a slide with some other COVIDs. Can you go back to like red, blue? Can you go back to that slide, sir? With some COVID, I'm not sure, but it had like different colors.
Like which one? This?
Back some more. No, back some more. Like that, yeah. There was a blue one too.
Yeah, that's the summary. Yeah. But as I said, it's a long slide. Are you seeing it? No, oh, that's me, by the way, in the bottom right. That's my first shot. I got the second one in May. That was in March. Seeing it?
Sir, go back. Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, go back to the first one,
I
sir.
don't think you're not seeing the one you're asking me for.
The green one. Go back to the green one, sir. No, go back. Go no, other way. Sir, the other way.
This?
No, the other way.
I think he wants to see the P1 variant.
You mean the variant?
Yeah, the variant.
That one was the Brazilian variant.
On to read the variants.
Well, Drew, I think we have to remember we have the campaign to continue with us. So
oh, he look like he disconnected. I think he disconnected.
Yeah. I don't know if he's
sorry, yes, I got a bit disconnected a while ago. Sorry about that.
But Drew, man, we I guess you could share it back with Dr. Simpson, but Drew, I think we remember we have the other things to do as well. We have to give you all your awards. But I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dr. Simpson. I loved how you touched on, vaccinations as well, because I know that is a hot topic. I wouldn't lie, I did not expect vaccinations to become so politicized and religiousized or something. I don't know if that's a word, but right. I didn't expect it to be as it was, because I'm fully vaccinated. I got my first dose in April. And I got my second dose in June. I got the AstraZeneca. I must admit the second dose I got really bad headaches, but I also struggle with headaches generally. So right. My mom was fine though. My mom got also a little more adverse side effects from the second dose. She was fine. She just has a heart palpitation issue that she has always had. And my grandmother got Sinopharm, and she is better than everyone. Right. And yes, I think so. My entire family, more or less my entire family is vaccinated. All my friends, I have a lot of friends who are medical doctors.
Same here, yes.
Yeah, I think from hearing from them, a lot of my friends work in the COVID ICU and hearing these stories and hearing some of these symptoms and hearing, they found that these people kind of enter their final phases of life alone because of how highly contagious the virus is. That was enough.
Right. I know that we have Delta here. That means it's going to get worse, more easily transmissible, especially for you youngsters here. Delta loves you guys. You might not get sick, but you definitely would spread it more to like your parents and your grandparents. So that's Pfizer is here, which persons, I don't really believe this, but persons would argue that it's better than all the rest. So literally we're giving you the best according to what persons say. They arrived this morning. When it becomes available, when the schools call you to come for it, please don't hesitate. Of course, talking about your parents. If your parents, I'm not saying you should question them if they're looking like they're going to conspiracy. Just please educate them. Tell them I took it. I don't have no laser shooting out my eye. I'm not dead. I don't feel no way. Please, just don't add to the misinformation.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Simpson. I really appreciate you touching on that. And I'm glad for your session. So now we will be moving into, what I'll do is whatever questions, if any more questions arise, I will forward them to Lenika. And as you see, you might be willing to do a separate session on vaccinations.
Right.
So I will ensure that if the students are interested enough, then we'll forward it to
Right.
Lenika and she will set up another session. So thank you
Okay.
so,
All
so
right.
very
Thank you
much.
for having me. It was fun being here again.
Awesome. You're welcome. And we
Okay,
were
bye.
glad to have you. All right, take
Yes,
care.
Yeah,
Bye.
Mr. Simpson. All right, guys, we have some persons to present. Are they here, Rajwani? Let's see something here. Yes, Rajwani, do you have your presentation? Okay. Anybody else has their presentation? This is your last time. Your presentation will be graded. Let me remind you that your presentation will be graded. So anybody else? So Rajwan, you were scheduled for today. There are two more persons. Just want to check before we move into our awards ceremony. Ariana, I think she is on here.
Yeah, Ariana says she's ready. So you can go ahead, Ariana.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Ariana.
Sharing your screen.
Okay, tell me if you can see my screen when I share it. Can you see?
Yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, my career path by, well, me, obviously, Ariana Birthright. What I want to do when I grow up. When I grow up, I want to be a marine biologist, more specifically a fish biologist and an actress. These two careers stand out to me the most because I love the ocean and I also love acting. Duties involved, these ones are the ones needed for acting. Research on characters, study scripts, dialogue, rehearse performances. Duties involved for marine biology or fish biology. Conduct research, collect samples and measurements, perform tests and experiments, and interpret and report their findings. Skills and education needed for acting. There are no formal education requirements to become an actor, but a bachelor's degree in theater arts, drama, acting, and performing. Skills and education needed for marine biology. To be a marine biologist, you need to choose, that should be need, to choose subjects such as mathematics, physics, geography, chemistry, and of course, biology. You also need to have a high school diploma, complete a bachelor's degree in marine biology or a related field, and complete a master's or doctoral degree in marine biology. Work environment for acting. Actors work in various settings, including production studios, theaters, and theme parks, or on location. Work assignments are usually short, ranging from 1 day to a few months. Work environment for marine biology. Nearly all marine biologists spend at least part of their time doing research in the field, working in environments ranging from marshes or wetlands to the ocean. They use equipment including boats, scuba gear, nets, traps, sonar, submarines, robotics, computers, and standard lab equipment. Reasons as to why I chose this career path. I love the ocean and the organisms in it. I was inspired by David Attenborough documentary on Netflix, which I watched like a year ago. I've always been in speech and drama club, so I have enough experience to be able to act on camera. And I was inspired by Will Smith, Tia Mowry, and Tamara Mowry. How the career path I picked would impact the community. In Jamaica, there are not a lot of actors who are recognized on television. As a result, not a lot of children are inspired to be actors and showcase their talents. In addition, with marine biology, career is not really highlighted anywhere. If I become a marine biologist, I'd educate more people about the job and get more people interested. And that's the end.
Well done, Ariana. Thank you so much for touching on I love well, I guess I'm biased, but I love the career, obviously. And I liked what you touched on. I also love that you touched on the fact that you want to be an actress as well, which I think is very important. And from your accent, I believe you're Jamaican. Yes, you're Jamaican, right?
Yes, miss.
And Jamaicans are some of the most expressive people I have ever encountered in my entire life. And I think more Jamaicans need to be in acting because you all are entertaining, you all are, honestly, I must admit, I find Jamaicans to be some of the funniest people I've ever interacted with. So I love that you touched on that. And yes, great presentation. I don't know if Mr. Williams has anything to say.
Similar sentiments. Great presentation, Ariana.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah,
anyone else who we have on Scotted?
Okay, so we have Justin Henry. Let's see if I'm seeing Justin here.
What are the nomis?
Jermaine.
He's asking if what we have to do now. So I'm seeing, so I know if we're saying Justin should be presenting.
All right,
I haven't heard Justin yet.
Okay, Watson. Carlia. What's the name? Okay, I am not seeing those. Yes, I'm seeing Watson here.
Carlia just joined.
Yeah, just joined. Do you have your presentation, Watson? Please let me know so we can move.
What did you say?
Good morning, good afternoon. Do you have your presentation? Are you ready?
Okay, all right. So I guess if no one else has a presentation, then we'll probably best we move straight into the awards. We kind of think we have the climate change campaign or the climate campaign to launch after. Mr. Williams?
Yes, most definitely. Sorry about that. There's a delay. Sorry. Yes. So I'll start sharing my screen. Yeah, I'll start sharing my screen.
You could go ahead and start, Ms. Williams. I'm returning in probably just a minute. I'm hearing something outside the house. I want to check it.
Okay, I'm loading up the presentation. So just give me a sec. The presentation is loading. So guys, we're at the end of our camp. I trust that everyone really enjoyed and benefited from the camp, from the different activities, ranging from your labs to the career symposium to even your campaign that you worked on. I know that based on the activities that we provided, you benefited in terms of the different skills that were taught, both directly and indirectly. So I'm just looking at this 4.2. Okay, everybody sing. Miss Bowman, you seeing my screen, right?
I'm seeing it that you have
Yes,
started
sir.
to
I'm
share
seeing your
this,
screen.
but I'm not seeing it yet. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
seeing.
Okay, just give me a second. My computer just froze.
I believe mine is downloaded. You want me to share from my side, Mr. Williams? Let me see. Oh, there's a
Let us see what is that one. Sorry about the technical difficulties, campus.
You want me to start? Or
Yes.
not yet? You want me to go ahead and share?
Go ahead, please.
All right, so let me share. So you have to, I think you have to stop sharing and then I'll share. Let me stop.
Yes, thank you so much. So welcome to our awards ceremony and closing ceremony, campers, tutors. We just want to thank you for your practice, for everybody's participation, from the campers to the tutors to even us as coordinators in terms of our participation. It was a collective effort in terms of achieving the task of us learning, campers learning, and us as coordinators learning from our campers as well. We have a message from, unfortunately, our camp director, Ms. Roden, could not make it to our ceremony. She was really trying, but an urgent activity came up, really urgent activity came up. Next slide, please. So Ms. Roden says, I want to thank everyone, parents, students, for supporting and participating in the camp. Without you, what would the camp be? And yes, you're buzzing with energy, coordinators, and your awesome tutors. They prepared immensely. Oops. Yeah, they prepared immensely and delivered to you daily. Thank you for working with us, and I hope that you will continue to support e-Biome services as we continue to design and implement programs for the promotion of STEM. So that is the remarks from our Managing Director of e-Biome Services and our camp director. And we would love to know, just for a minute, what was your favorite part of the camp? Starting with Alexandria.
The doctor's class.
Okay, that was your favorite part of the camp. Okay, that's good.
But
All
I
the
also,
technology
I
classes, all
also
the
liked
classes
when
about technology and
Okay,
biology and those things.
all right, wait, Jermaine. All right, Jermaine, I'll come to you. Alexandria, first, please.
I also liked when we learned how to use PowerPoint, or I wouldn't be able to create the volcano project on PowerPoint.
Okay. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And I know that Mr. Morris, I believe, yes, Mr. Morris, appreciate your comments. We're actually here to serve the you guys as campus in terms of learning different aspects and different facets of the broad and diverse field of science, technology, engineering, and math. All right. Jermaine, you were saying something? You were saying
My favorite part of the camp was the classes about technology and biology of different animals and plants.
okay, cool. Anyone else?
I actually have two favorite parts. Actually have two favorite parts that I enjoyed in the camp. The first one might be funny, but I just enjoy when Sir says good morning campus. I don't know, it just stuck in my head and it gives me inspiration in the morning. and also I learned that me and Mrs. Moban have a lot in common. So I am also happy for that.
Okay, that's good. Was John. All right. Mr. One, you have
I wanted to unmute. Yeah, I wanted to unmute. I wanted to say thanks, Ivanka. And as I said, if you need any help in the future, and if it is, your parents want to reach out, especially in terms of, as you expressed an interest in marine biology, then my email, and I'm always available. So, if it is that you want to ask a question, you all can feel free to email me. I will respond.
Thank you, Miss.
No problem.
And before I add, guys, please utilize, this is something that is really important. Please utilize your associations. So by attending this camp, you're associated with actual scientists, persons who are practicing within different fields in STEM. So from geology to marine biology to chemistry. So please contact them in terms of and even environmental sciences.
Excuse me, sir.
Go ahead. Well, John.
Is it possible that I can have you say good morning campus as a ringtone?
Okay. I don't know what's special about that, but okay. Sure. Anything, sure. What was I saying? Okay, I was saying you can't off guard. Yeah, please, in terms of matriculating from secondary education to tertiary education, please utilize your resources and so you can make wise decisions, in terms of selecting the right courses. And through your STEM career symposium, you have been made aware of and been informed of the different subjects that are required for the different fields. Providing that nobody else has any feedback on our cam, we can move on to the next slide, Ms. Bowman. Okay, I guess nobody has anything else to say.
So I just have a small message because, it's late already. I just want to say that each and every one of you have been an inspiration to me. And I admire you all have so much confidence and so much passion for the environment and for the learning process. I think that will take you all very far in this world, in whatever field that you all decide to venture into, because I know we have some future scientists, we have some engineers, we have some creatives, we have some influencers, actresses, models, we have so many of them. And I just know you all will be great in whatever you decide to do. And just also, I know as the years progress, don't let the disappointments daunt you, because one of the things that I admired from this camp was, you all, especially those who were very interactive, because for me, I was very annoyed with this online platform at the start of the pandemic, and seeing how as students, you all were able to adjust to this platform and you all are thriving on this platform. I think that is admirable. So even if something might seem as a disappointment, you just use it to help you, keep going. And yes, I just want to say thank you. So keep pushing, keep working, and keep up the hard work, guys. And it was a pleasure meeting every single one of you. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Bowman. Okay, just quick quiz. On a scale of 1 to 10, Shanice, how much do you know about climate change now?
I would say an 8, which was far greater than what I came here before, than knowledge that I came here with before. There's still so much to learn, and I have the basis for moving forward in getting more knowledge on it. So yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Anybody else? Who else I haven't heard? Cumberland. Ariana, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you know about climate change now?
I think a 9 out of 10, but before it was like a 6 or a 5.
Okay, there has been much improvement. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm really happy that you guys learned a lot about climate change. Okay, I just want to thank everyone from our coordinators, Miss Bowman, for her continuous effort in terms of making the camp the best camp that it can be, and interacting with you students and building a relationship with you campers. To our tutors who worked really hard behind the scenes in terms of marking the assignments, creating interactive sessions, putting up really creative and interesting presentations, and also interacting with the students on the Google Classroom platform. I just really want to thank you for working along with me, myself, and Ms. Bowman in terms of coordinating and hosting this summer STEM camp for 2021. And lastly, our campers. Without you, we wouldn't have this camp. And I must say, I learned a lot throughout this process over these 3 weeks in terms of over different arenas, in terms of your perspectives. Also, I trust that you, as I said previously, I trust that you learned a lot. And I just want to emphasize that you should make use of the resources that are available to you, such as your tutors, the material that is presented on the platforms. Mr. Wooden stated that you can still submit your assignments and complete your assignments. And some of the material posted on the platform, In matter of fact, all of the material posted on the platform will help you moving forward. So I just want to thank you for your attentiveness, interacting with us as tutors, and also building a relationship and working with your fellow campers, especially during the campaign and on different activities as well. That is it from me. I wish you all the best and stay safe and have a productive school term when it comes. Next slide, please. Can go ahead, Ms. Bowman. Okay, did you learn anything new? I will go first. I learned a lot, even though I am an environmental scientist and geologist. I learned a lot in terms of from Miss Brown's session. Some of the sessions I actually sat in terms of marine life and plastics. Learned a lot from Miss Bowman's session. I think it's exploring natural ecosystems. So I learned a lot in terms of climate change and about different ecosystems. Anybody else learn something new and interesting?
Yes, during this camp, everything was new and interesting to learn for me. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, John. Anybody else?
Yeah, I learned that you have to kill the fishes to study them.
Oh, dissections. Okay, all right. So you really enjoyed
Yes, that was a hard part for Drew for Drew Main. I still see it in some of his in his fish lab questions. I know that was a hard part for you, but sometimes, as I said, there are ways to study them in the field, but in terms of consumption and what they feed on, you do dissect.
I'm really glad that you guys had the opportunity to, you really enjoyed your lab sessions, and the skills that you're learning, you will use them in the future. So don't forget them. Anyone else?
I
Go ahead, Shanice.
Yes, I agree. Basically everything that I learned was new. Biochemistry. I didn't do biology, so a lot of those classes were very interesting for me. When we learned about like microbiology and biochemistry, even water chemistry as well. So,
okay, that's good. That's really good. Anyone else? Any other tutors? No?
I learned how to use Word and I learned how to draw in it.
Oh, good, Alexandria. That's good. Really good. So you guys really benefited from all of the activities planned. That's really good. Good news to hear. Okay, you can proceed. All right. So I just want to, we could not have ended this Summer of STEM camp without awarding some persons for their efforts. I mean, some of you guys really worked really hard in terms of punctuality, in terms of the work that you presented, interacting with the tutors, asking questions, submitting your assignments on time. So you guys really worked hard, and when you work really hard, you deserve to be awarded. So we'll now move into our awards section. Miss Bowman, what's the upcoming award? Miss Bowman? Drop off the phone. Okay, so for eco discovery section of the eco-discovery section of the camp, which covers ecosystems and marine biology. Our top camper for eco-discovery is, I pity I didn't have a drum to the drum roll. Somebody can unmute their mic and do a drum roll, please. Okay, a drum roll.
Sorry about that. I was on a call. That's why I couldn't unmute.
Okay, no problem,
Yes.
Mr. Bowman. So, Mr. Wilson, Alexandria Wilson, on behalf of e-Biome Services, would like to announce that you are the top camper for wetlands in terms of eco-discovery, and you have demonstrated excellence in the different courses listed under the eco-discovery section of our camp. So congratulations, Alexandria.
Thank you, sir.
You are most welcome. So the next awardee is all right. So for my group, the next the awardee is Waldron, Miss Waldron. Congratulations for demonstrating excellence in our eco-discovery program. The courses listed under the program. You have demonstrated willingness and outstanding work, and we just want to give you the certificate of achievement. So congratulations, Ivanka. You're welcome. All right.
All right, next one.
Yes,
So this is the MacDoc Award. And we're going into, and congratulations to Mr. Drumaine Gordon for his exemplary performance in the area of math. Well done, Drumaine. You did very well, and I know that especially with robotics in there, I know math is a big subject, so keep it up and well done.
Thank you.
Guys, can you wait before we continue? Can you it's a teamwork. And other person you may never know, you might get an award. So as we go through progressive award ceremony, can you cheer on your fellow campers, please? It's the last session. You can unmute your mic and just give us a clap. Go ahead, Miss Bowman.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, you all could turn on your cameras, you all could relax, okay? It's not class again, it's just award ceremony. And give a little clap. I know Ivanka always gives the claps and the reactions. Very well. Good. So next camper. Well done. Congratulations to Miss Kanishka Rampasad for exemplary performance in the area of math. I don't know if Kanishka is on right now. I know she usually has a class on Thursdays. So, but she'll get her award, I guess, I'm assuming, emailed to her. So let's give a clap for Kanishka, even though she's not here. Well done. Okay, we're moving into yes. Okay, so this is the Tech Whiz Award. Okay, let's go. So for the Tech Whiz, I believe this is for wetlands. Yes. Okay, so congratulations to Mr. Drumaine Gordon for outstanding contribution to discussion surrounding computer science and information technology. Well done, Drumaine.
Thank you, Miss.
Yes, awesome. Great. I'm seeing claps in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next camper up. Hold on. Congratulations to Miss Naomi Richards for her outstanding contribution to discussion surrounding computer science and information technology. Is Naomi here online right now? I don't know if Naomi's here, but congratulations, Naomi. Round of applause for Naomi. Well done, well done. Keep it up. Yes. Okay. Next person, I think that should be it. Who else is here? We have a special award for the climate change champion. I will allow Mr. Williams. This is his 40.
So with serious consideration in terms of the different courses, because most of the sessions held within the camp touch on climate change. And this was really a hard choice, and a really hard choice, but this person really deserved this award in terms of their work towards climate change, in terms of learning about different aspects of climate change and being willing to do the work. Yeah. So
Awesome.
I would like to congratulate, drum roll please. Yeah. Miss Ariana Birthright for her outstanding work in terms of climate change, over the climate, in terms of climate change throughout the entire camp. Ariana has demonstrated outstanding work ethic and outstanding presentations in terms of climate change. So congratulations, Miss Birthright. Let me give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
You are most definitely
Well done, guys. Well done, you all. Well done, well done. Well done.
All right.
Oh, okay, now next
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so the top camper award, which wasn't an easy award to decide on. I don't know if it was easy for you, but I think this one, I think, well, you looked at how, I guess, participation a lot as well, and very, you know, willingness to participate and contribute to sessions as well. So, you know, thank you. So congratulations to this camper. Drum roll, please. All right.
James.
So
Congratulations.
Go ahead.
No, man, you can go ahead. Congratulations, Alexandre. You are the top camper for the wetlands group. So I want to just congratulate you for your outstanding performance. Go ahead. It's Miss Woman's group. My bad. Go ahead, Miss Woman.
No problem. Well done. Well done. Well done, Alex. Where's Alex? Alex, you have anything to say? Alex is always. Alex, congratulations. You got top camper award.
Thank you.
Right, awesome. So
So
moving on now. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, oh,
It's already
okay.
here.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's moving. So congratulations to Miss Shanice McKay. You're the top camper, most outstanding camper for the Tropical Forest group. So thank you for your outstanding performance in our camp. So congratulations, Shanice. For all of the awardees, your certificates will be emailed to your parents.
Yes.
So Ms. Roden,
Denise, you have anything you want to say?
we'll contact you.
Just thank you for, you know, all of the support that you guys have given. Yes, it's very well appreciated.
Awesome.
You're most
Awesome.
welcome.
I'm glad. So congratulations again to all the campers. You have anything else? I think what's this one? Camp of the year. Oh, we have a big one. Woo. Big one. Camp of the year. Let's go. Let's see. So the camp of the year, I think it was a culmination of the other awards as well, and you know, as well as assignments, participation, everything. So the camp of the year is It's there already. Mr. Jermaine Gordon. Well done, Jermaine. Well done. Well done. You are very active.
Thank you.
You are very active, very interactive, you know, always willing to contribute. And that is a habit. I know, I want to make a point, Mr. Gordon, I know whenever you go into, as you go through school life, there might be people around you who may think that you're extra, or you always have the answers. And I'm telling you this from before, because a lot of times when you, sometimes, you know,
well, Miss, I already have a problem with that. Some teachers already complain. So
yeah,
it's a problem I have.
Listen, I think, I mean, once you learn to balance it and once you ensure that other people get a chance to speak as well, you don't have to dim your light for others to shine, right? Everyone can shine, okay? And I think that is also, if you, sometimes, you know, you're very enthusiastic and I just don't want you to ever get discouraged, even if other people can't appreciate your light. And if sometimes your light might be too bright, because some people eyes can't adjust. But I just want you to, find the balance. Of course, find the balance, but also don't dim yourself in order too much just because it makes other people, don't want to say, oh, you're too excited about it. Be excited about you, because sometimes life not so exciting. So keep it up, right, Jermaine?
Yes, miss.
Yes, most definitely. I echo the sentiments of Miss Bowman. Jermaine, you have shown demonstrated outstanding performance within the camp, and your attitude towards STEM is really remarkable. So please keep it up and reach out to e-Biome if you need any assistance or any resources, and make use of the resources provided in the future by e-Biome. So congratulations, Jermaine. I'm seeing that Mr. Morris, okay, so Miss James is echoing sentiments as well as Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris says, congratulations, future engineer and mathematician. So congratulations, Jermaine, and continue the work. So you can check the chat, campus. Some of your tutors are sending congratulations via the chat. Ms. Bowman, you may proceed.
Okay, so I guess you might give the closing remarks, or I don't know if Miss Ruden sent you something.
Yes, she did. Before I give my closing, Mr. Roden's closing remarks, Mr. Morris wanted the campers to know that it has been an awesome ride, and whatever you do in life, do it well. So Mr. Morris wanted to remind you.
I agree.
Yeah. So whatever task you decide to take on, do it well, and he wish you all the best in your endeavors. So our camp director wants to congratulate all campers who participated, as you are all winners. Those who won an award, keep shining. My team and I were blown away by your awesome work and brilliance. Campers, your enthusiasm for STEM truly fueled what we do and why we do what we do here at e-Biome. Thank you for allowing us at e-Biome to cater to your STEMerific summer. Please join us again next year as we promise to introduce new and exciting features to improve your knowledge in STEM. So that is the closing remarks from our camp director and managing director of e-Biome services. So she is congratulating all the campers, and she is encouraging all of the campers to join our camp next year, as we'll be introducing more and exciting features and sessions into our camp. And I think that is it. That is it for our awards ceremony. That is it for our ceremony. So we'll now move into our campaign launch. Campaign launch, thanks. Okay. What persons? Shanice and Ariana, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for all of let me just welcome everyone to our climate change launch. Essentially, from the inception of the camp this year, we wanted to integrate project management into our camp, as well as integrating project management, but also teaching the students advocacy. As scientists, a part of their job will be to integrate the science with policy and making change within the society. Therefore, through or through their campaign, they will be able to do such. So there will be the aim of the campaign was to, start building those project management skills and communication skills, and also allow the campus to learn to do group work, and learning to brainstorm different ideas and how to tackle different environmental issues. So now, Miss McKay and Miss Birthright, who are leading the campaign, will now share their presentation. So welcome. Please give them a warm welcome. So Shanice and Ariana, can you start sharing your screen, please?
Ariana will share.
Okay.
Oh, someone has to stop sharing screen for me to share screen. Are you seeing it?
Yes, we are, Ariana. So let's go into full screen. Oh yes, thanks. Okay. Oh, let me add. Correction. Ariana, Miss Birthright, and Miss McKay. Go back. Ariana, Miss Birthright, and Miss McKay will be presenting the campaign, but there are multiple persons on the main team, like the head of who are leading the campaign. So these persons are Alexandre, Mr. Wilson, Miss Birthright, Mr. French, Mr. Gordon, Mr. Henry, Mr. Rajwani, Miss Waldron, and Miss McKay. So go ahead. Okay, you may proceed, Miss Birthright.
The mic is off. I haven't seen the mic hasn't turned on.
Could you go back to the first slide, please? Okay, so good afternoon again, everyone. Today we'll be presenting our climate change campaign, and the campaign will be on marine life and plastics. So for the overview, marine life is the plants, animals, and other organisms that live in the sea, ocean, or brackish waters. Since the late 1960s, the oceans and seas have been experiencing plastic pollution in most of the world. Plastic is a synthetic material made from a wide range of organic polymers. Since almost all plastics are hard, it is impossible for it to degrade. As a result, all the plastics that have been carelessly thrown into water bodies are causing plastic pollution, taking up most of the sea, almost surpassing the population of fish in the ocean. Throughout the Caribbean region, many islands have banned or are considering banning bans on single-use plastics, including plastic bags and styrofoam. For example, in Antigua, they made a five-phase plan to ban plastics in 2016. And in Jamaica, the plastic ban has been implemented since 2019. As a result of Antigua's actions, the amount of plastic on their beaches dropped by 15%. So the aim of the campaign is to inform people about the effects of plastic pollution in the ocean and to give them possible solutions as to how they can mitigate plastic pollution, as well as promoting the recycling of plastics. As expected, plastic pollution will have an impact on marine life. So the most visible and disturbing impacts of marine plastics are the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of marine species. Consumption of plastic by marine creatures causes severe digestive problems, which go mainly untreated. Reports suggest that the consumption of plastic by all types of fish amounts to several tons every year. In addition to causing intestinal injury and death of these fish, this also spread the risks across the food chain to bigger fish and marine mammals. Sea turtles are the other unfortunate victims of plastic pollution in the waters, apart from fishes. Similar to fish and other marine beings, sea turtles also consume plastic garbage as food, leading to a blockage in the gut and ulceration, and eventually to death. Studies have found that half of the sea turtles around the world have ingested plastic. Also, microplastics have an effect on the marine life. Microplastics are plastic debris with less than 0.5 centimeters of size. They are generally classified according to their sources. Because of their small size, microplastics are easily ingested by marine organisms such as lugworms, shrimp, barnacles, sea cucumbers, and fish. In addition, some microplastics' shape and size resemble prey that the fish feed on. Once microplastics are ingested, they can be either excreted or retained in the tissues, especially in the gastrointestinal tract. They have also been found they have also been found in the stomach, oral, and ventilation areas of some marine organisms. In case of retention, trophic transfer and accumulation in the food chain may occur. How is marine life affected by plastic in the Caribbean? Wind, waves, and currents can transport litter into the sea and far away from the coast. Floating plastic can be ingested by marine animals or entangle them, causing them to die due to starvation or suffocation. A large percentage of marine litter sinks to the seabed, where it directly impacts seabed habitats. 70 to 85% of marine litter in the Caribbean Sea comes from land, and most of it consists of plastics. Together with runoff and domestic wastewater, it is one of the three priority pollutants for the wider Caribbean region. So how can we reduce the amount of plastic in the ocean? Well, we can organize beach cleanups to prevent any more plastics from entering the ocean. We can also use nets to gather plastics that are floating in the ocean, reuse plastics that are reusable like bottles and hard plastic straws, dispose of single-use plastics in special bins. This is what can be achieved if we all do our part and in helping to get rid of plastics and keep our oceans clean. There will be fewer accidental digestions of plastics. Animals could reproduce and make their way off the endangered species list. Less polluted beaches, sea levels would not rise, and more coral would be able to grow. The campaign structure. So our campaign will be advocated on social media. The platforms we plan to use are Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. These platforms will be used to post short educational videos on how plastic pollution affects our marine environment and ecosystems. In addition, we'll build our websites to upload fun activities such as scavenger hunts, plastic gathering competitions, and other fun games for kids and teens. On Instagram and Facebook, we plan to tag some environmental associations such as NEPA and the International Environmental Technology Center. Our target audience from ages 6 to 65 who are from America, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, British Virgin Islands, and other Eastern Caribbean countries. Phases of the campaign. Firstly, the planning of the campaign, which was on Thursday, August 12, 2021. So on this day, we were given the idea to start a campaign on marine life and plastics and the effects. On August 13 and August 15, we discussed what social media platforms we would use to advocate our campaign on. In addition, we made a rough draft PowerPoint with the main points on the topic, marine life and plastics. So on August 16, we found more information on marine life and plastics and made a rough draft of the campaign plan. And August 18, we were given more ideas for changes in our campaign plan and made the last draft. In addition, we made our PowerPoint over with extra information that we have gotten over the few days. And on August 19, we'll launch our campaign. So now we have some samples of posters and activities that we would post to get people engaged and informed on this topic, because it is a very important and it is a very sorry about that. So it's a very big issue and we need to tackle it. So here we have a poster, and I will just give you guys the time to read through. It's very short, simple, and it has the punch that it needs. Know what items you can recycle. So this poster is informing the individuals that it would have reached on what items they can recycle, because we know that it's an issue, but what can you do? And this is an example of one such thing that we can do to engage people in this issue. Next, we have a more fun one. We have some graphics. The colors are eye-catching, and this is one of the more modern types of posters. So the problem, solution, and call to action. So plastic on the street often ends up in our oceans, and the solution would be to challenge yourself to pick up a couple of bits of plastic rubbish every time you leave the house. Snap your stash and post it online to encourage others to do that same. And this is a challenge, not only are engaging the people that are seeing it, but the other groups of people that they know will be engaged as well. And next we have our last sample, and it is a solution for reducing plastic pollution. So if there's one trend that you guys have noticed from these posters, is that they have highlighted a problem and provided a solution that is not far-fetched, but something that you can do, small steps that we can take to, reach the goal that is not as far-fetched as we think. And, progress over perfection. So here, the problem states that most times people do not realize that some plastics are reusable and then throw them away carelessly, causing it to end up in the ocean. And the solution.
Shanice, you're muted.
Sorry about that. So you get plastic containers from restaurants or even plastic butter dishes, make sure to wash them after they are used and store them away for when you need them. And we are from the Caribbean. We know that anytime.
Shanice, the mic. I don't know if it's the space button, maybe.
So this is the end of our presentation. I hope that this has, inspired us to do stuff that will, help to mitigate the problem that is at hand.
Listen, so well Done. So well done. But let me let Mr. Williams give his comments because, I mean, first off, kudos to Mr. Williams for this idea because I wasn't really a part of this. I was in on most of these sessions, you know? So like after seeing this, oh, I enjoyed it so much. I love the ideas and I also know who to contact whenever and I need all your students, all the students' emails because I need to know who to contact if I ever decide to launch any campaign because you all have it, man, you all have it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could continue. I just want to tell the students that worked on the campaign from both wetlands and tropical forests. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, good, excellent work in terms of meeting, like really good work ethic in terms of project management, meeting over the weekend, having Google Hangout, discussing and brainstorming the global environmental issues. I mean, sending emails and doing corrections even in the early in the morning at 2 a.m. in the morning. I really appreciated your effort from, I don't even want to call names, but everybody who contributed to the presentation and the campaign planning guide and from the brainstorming all the way up to the launch today. I just really want to thank you for the work that you have demonstrated. I am really appreciative of it. And I am, based on your presentation, I know you guys have a great understanding of what advocacy entails. And moving forward, you'll be able to merge the science that you will be going into in terms of your respective fields and merging it with advocacy. So using your talents and skills within STEM to create change within the society, which was really our e-Biome's aim in terms of the campaign. Regarding the Miss Roden will take over from this, will spearhead the campaign. So once
You're muted, Randy. I wonder.
Yes, sorry, yes, Jermaine, sorry about that. Yes, so Miss Roden will take off, will continue the work with the campaign as you have laid out your timeline. So just email me your what's the email again? It's BioLife. Ms. Bowman, what's the email?
It's biolifega@gmail. biolifega@gmail.com. So I believe that's it. Yes.
Yes. So between Shanice and Ariana and Jermaine, you guys can send the campaign plan and the presentation to Miss Roden, and she will contact you guys in terms of creating the website and launching the campaign on social media. And I know she has some amazing things in the works in terms of collaborating with other environmental agencies, as you have stated in your plan, and international partners. So let's just once again, as you can see, based on Miss Bowman's facial expressions, really good work. Really good work. Really good work.
Excellent. Especially the break. You see that work breakdown? That's the big term they use, I think, in project management and stuff. You know, they call it a work breakdown and all these things. You all have no, I don't think the students have yet understood how they are adults struggling to be able to handle a proper work breakdown. They are adults struggling. If you were to give them give them the timeline that they got, you would have heard no ends of complaints about why they can't meet, what they can't do, who have this to do. And I think that's, I don't think you all as students, you all have to give yourselves so many kudos, because that will break down structure that you all listed out, and, you know, the meetings, and, you know, being able to, as I say, you all as students have been able to adjust to this online platform so much better than twice and triple your age, you know. So just well done, students. Well done. I especially like the point about the challenge, because I mean, you know, most of us know that challenges are a big thing now on Instagram. So you have the challenges and you have the hashtags and challenges on TikTok and all those types of things. And so I'm thinking, so in terms of the campaign, I'm thinking that whenever we can gather and do like beach cleanups again, I can see that challenge going so far, you know, people compiling little TikTok videos of them, you know, collecting garbage from the beach, etc. So I love it so much. I was very, very impressed, and well done. And kudos to Mr. Williams for putting it for, you know, spearheading it with you all. Well done, well done.
Thank you, Ms. Bowman. And just to add that, students, please utilize these skills in your SBAs. For persons at tertiary education, you will use these skills in your SBAs, in your thesis. For persons get STEM core programs at the University of the West Indies, you will have some thesis or research, depending on, well, I know for geology, and I think biology as well, have a thesis, and biochemistry, yes, have a thesis section. Engineering has a project as well, computer science. All undergrad degrees have a project. So it is really good that you guys have a good footing in terms of project management and working with others in terms of getting the work done, because Tremaine can agree with me. As you move forward and as you grow older, it's all about group work. In the work environment, I am working along with Tremaine and other persons in terms of working on an environmental project. It's not a one-man thing, because everybody contributes to the environment. Environment is so dynamic. Like even the marine environment is not only, for example, a hydrologist. You need an ecologist, you need a marine biologist as well to consult on even water problems. So I just want to thank you. This is my final words. Thank you for your work, and continue the outstanding work that you have demonstrated over the 3 weeks. And I wish you all the best. Ms. Roden will contact you regarding your robotics session and your certificates. Please submit whatever assignment. As I think I saw Ramper said submit something a while ago. So continue to submit your assignments, and we will keep in touch. So I just want to tell you, I want to thank you so much. I'm seeing Mr. Wilson. Last before I'm seeing Mrs. Wilson on the line. Mrs. Wilson, do you have anything to say as a parent or no?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm really happy. I mean, I was just looking for something to occupy Alexandria's time, but in the end, it ended up being something really beneficial, since he's into science and planning on being this astronaut and everything, and he learned a whole lot. And I especially want to thank Drew Main. Drew Main kind of took him under his wing, and he was very, very helpful. I mean, the other kids were helpful and everything, but I really got to big up Drew Main, and if Alexandria can keep in touch with him, and he said most definitely. So I'm happy that he got to meet Drew Main, and I thought the course was really, really good. And I studied science in school, and I mean, that was hundreds of years ago, and I forgot a whole lot of things. And the little refreshing course that I got, because I'm basically monitoring the class, was really, really good. So you guys did a great job, and I'm hoping you guys might have it in December and whenever school closes. So just let me know.
Okay, no problem, Mrs. Wilson. We'll most definitely inform you, and thank you for sending Alexandria to the camp. We really appreciated his contributions and his participation. Even in the campaign, he was a part of he was even a part of the initial stages of the campaign in terms of brainstorming. So you really have a budding scientist on in your household.
Yes.
Most definitely. And Jermaine, I want to encourage you and all the campers, I want to encourage you to continue building relationships with your different campers, because moving forward, the same persons you do this camp with trust and believe me, you will work with them in the future. Whether you guys do the same program or you have to collaborate on a project in the future. So it is good to have these relationships. You can always ask them a question like in their field that may be related to what you are doing. And it's good to have friends as well. So I just want to wish you all the best. And that is it from me. Jermaine, I'm seeing you said, go ahead, Miss Woman.
I just was saying that I agree with you, Randy, and everyone can see I'm smiling because I'm just so proud of you as students, and I think this camp benefited me so much because I just enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed interacting with you and hearing, Mrs. Wilson mention how, Drumian, took Alexandria under his wings and, kind of helped him, along, and I think I love hearing that because I observe that as I always talk about how you all adapt to the online platform because I'm seeing my niece she has been able to manage Zoom calls and coordinate games and, have people sign into the game room. And I just love seeing the interaction. So I just say, as Mr. Williams said, keep it up. And yeah, you all should have each other, I guess on Google Hangouts, etc. You all can continue to interact as much as possible. And I hope you enjoy when you head into school for September. I hope that you're able to be safe and you're able to finally see people face to face.
Yeah, so that is it from us, guys. Jermaine, I see you sending an invite in the chat. Is this a game or something?
Yes,
Oh, so you just click view and okay, sign into Zoom or in the Zoom app. Okay. Okay. All right. So see Jermaine is here sending out an invite so you guys can play games afterwards and in the future. So all the best, guys, for the upcoming school term. Have a productive school term. Please stay safe. Wear your mask. Please wear your mask and also do your schoolwork. I know it is kind of difficult sometimes to maintain that drive, especially within the virtual environment, but keep up the good work that you have demonstrated within the fields. All the best. Bye. Until next time.
Thank you for teaching us everything, everyone who's been a teacher for us this year.
You're welcome, Alex. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And thank you, guys. All right, you all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.